Hello, there's wonderful people in YouTube land. Today we're going to be treat training rats. Now to show you the top cage is the two little babies. That's all duct tape. That's fine. That's only because they're still small enough to actually fit through the bars. So they can squeeze through that. Don't put it up there. Don't worry if they nibble on the duct tape. Doesn't hurt them. No reason why he doesn't have that because he's too fat to get through the bars. So we'll be treat training. I have some suet here, which is made for blue jays. This is more or less peanut butter and birdseed. More specifically, it is peanut butter, birdseed, and raw peanuts. If you actually look for like raw unroasted or straight peanuts or raw peanuts or anything else, you can do that. Or you can just make your own by melting down peanut butter, putting it in like a small container, filling it full of peanuts and birdseed. It all works. Just because this is not a staple of their diet, this should not be substituted into their diet. This should not be a staple of their diet. This is just a treat. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continually training on them to stand up. We're also going to be training how to come out of their cage and just go into your hand. Now, do be advised, if you do treat train a rat, they tend to get a little excited. And this is very much different than treat training a dog. But a dog, they really don't listen to you unless you have the treat or unless you have some kind of signal. With rats, on the other hand, they're very visual, which is kind of weird because they really don't have good vision at all. But I think it's mostly smell, just because I can smell it and I smell peanut butter, which rodents love. Let's get into it. So how you're going to be doing that is I have cat carriers. Cat carriers is what I like to use for my rats, or a big old dog carrier, like for Cuddles over there. I like these because they're simple, easy, and they're a lot easier to clean than the ones that have bars everywhere. And also, depending on what you use as bedding, this is also pretty easy to clean. I just use old clothes, you can see here. So it's just a lot easier to clean. More or less, you just shake them outside, you soak them to get rid of like any like food things that you might have in there. Then you throw them in the wash with just a little bit of bleach, dry them off, and put them back in the cage. It'll save you a lot of money. Let's get into it. So we're going to open up the cage. I'm going to try to not get in the shot too much. They're going to jump in my hand. I'm going to get the treat. They're then going to run back in because I've trained them up to this point. And more or less, that's how the rat's going to be wanting to, that you're going to be training just right off. They want to go back in the cage. So I'm going to quit talking. Remember, this is the treat. They also might try to do this, where they just kind of sit on your fingers, which is nice too. Right, now we're only going to use one rat because this next one I really have to watch him. Because the other one really isn't very good at this one. So we're just going to get the rat in her hand. Now she is trained to just go up in my hand when she's ready. So you really don't need to worry too much about that. She's a little bit excited, like I said. With treat training, rats get very excited just because there's prospect of food and they really want to do anything for the food. She's trying to go toward the food. So to do this is once they identify where the treats come in, they'll just go toward it. You just hold it up. They're going to stand up, and they could just get a little bit. You don't want to give them a lot, just enough. It's probably a little bit too much, but yeah. And they naturally will go into a nice safe place, like in the back of my hoodoo, or they might sit in your hand and eat it. It is really up to the rat how they're feeling that. And the boys in the back of the cage, good. As you can see, they're not just going to run out right when you open up the cage. It's a very common misconception. Once a rat understands training and everything, you can see that they're a lot more manageable. On the other hand, he doesn't want to listen no matter what I do. So that's kind of, like every rat's different kind of thing. So just because you train a rat to do something, same thing, you train a dog to do something, does not mean they're going to do it every single time. They're going to have good days and they're going to have bad days. And the only reason why he's going near the door because he can smell the treat and also he can smell the females out. Let's do that one more time. Now we're going to take away the visual aid. And there you go. Simple as that. Now we're going to do this with the big one, but I'm not going to put my hand near that cage. He likes to bite. Don't know why. It's just how he is. He likes to bite. Doesn't like to bite clothes, so it kind of works out for me. So same thing. We're going to use a visual aid. Just wants a little bit of the tree, not a whole bunch. And he is extremely excited. So this is about how your rat's going to be right when you first give him the treat. He's very, extremely excited rat. Also why you never want to get bit by a rat. Because as you can see, they don't let up. They will just continually bite. Hold on pretty gosh darn tight. As you can see, look right there. Watch him. He's just standing up on two legs for no apparent reason. Let's see if he does it again. So now we're going to take away this visual aid and we're going to use your hand. Going to hold it nice and still. And there you go. You give him the treat. And that's how treat training works. Basically, what we're doing is we're rewarding a behavior that we're teaching them, basically. When you catch a ball or something, they'll put it in the hoop or anything else. I'm just basically teaching the basics. And that's all you really need to know to have an impressive relationship with your rat. So now we're going to do jumping, which is where we're going to go from the cage to my hand, and then we're going to treat him for that. Now he's very, very, very excitable rat, so give him a little bit. And then he just wants the entire thing. Then he's got... he's quite a handful. Now he's going to go back in his cage. He's going to come out of the cage, go in our hand. I'm just going to get a treat for doing that. Don't worry, he's not starved. This is just how he is every single time. So, and then he goes back in the cage. Back in the cage. Back in the cage. in the cage. Got some hand sanitizer here. It's always good to wash your hands when handling rodents, just in case they hear poo on your hands, which is really the only way that you can ever get sick from them. Unless they bite you and they have an particularly infected mouth. That's why it's not very good to get bit by a rat. Also, if you use rubbing alcohol or straight alcohol or any kind of alcohol on your hands, this will also reduce the risk of you getting bit. Will not prevent it, just reduce the risk, just because your hands will not smell like food. Let's just review what we learned. Might have to coax them out. It's a treat. It's a little treat. It's a treat. And yes, rats are very greedy. And now my hands smell food. And they go back in. And that's more or less it. You can use like any container. This is clear, but I do recommend peanut butter. I have tried other pet safe treats. I've even made my own. And so far, peanut butter's the best kind of binder to get it all together. And now that we have my little girl, we're going to talk about gender and training, just because that it kind of pops up a little bit when I breed and sell rats. Like I only want the females because they're smarter, or I only like the males because they get a little bit more aggressive. So is there a real difference? Well, not really. Really all depends on the rat individual itself. Sometimes I'll get a female and she's really big of a handful and she just wants to nip and bite no matter how much I work with her. And other times I'll have that with a male too. But it really all depends on the rat itself and also the breeder. So if you do buy a rat from a pet store, make sure that you can pet them and handle them and, do all kind of sorts and crazy things with them. Just so, like you are happy. And if you do want to get a rescue or anything else, do keep in mind that you are going to have to work with them a lot and you are going to get bit. Just because lots of rescues haven't had a lot of human interaction. So it's just going to take that extra little bit from you to do anything with them. I'm trying to do things without looking at them. See? Just visual aids also work. Even though that their vision isn't very good. The vision's kind of like ours, where it's kind of mostly based on movement. They don't really see what it is. They just know something's moving. Well, like I say in all my videos, shoot 'em high and watch them fly.